You know, when you've had a hard day, you come up to the allotment just for a bit of relax, take it out on this compost root ball, you feel so much better. Well, I'm just finishing one of the last jobs, well, what I've been able to do for January. So at the beginning of the month we did jobs for January, and the weather ain't been great, but the compost that was stacked over there, we said there was about 200 litres. I was completely wrong. So let me finish off, let me get it bagged up, and we'll see what we've actually got. Well, it took me a while to get that done because a lot of the time it's been frozen. So we've actually got, these are 80 litre bags, and you know you don't get a full bag, so I'm classing these as 100 litres, 200, 300, 400, and we've got half a bag there. So 450 litres to add to my total. So that was a real bad guess, guys. There's the roots, and there's some of the plastic that we can't reuse. I'll try and reuse the bags where I can, but some of them are damaged. So where that says 200, it should be 450, so that takes me over the 18,000 litres of compost collected. Top this up again with 2 bags, and that leaves me now with 3 bags down there to get in. So I would imagine by the end of February that'll all be sorted. I just need to move these twigs off the comfrey bed. These are what I get out of the leaves. Obviously when we scrape them up, they come with everything. And while you're still with me, please hit the like or dislike button for the interaction. I will really appreciate that. The snowdrops, and I've got a few there as well, but they do look nice. They don't last a long time, but these ones, hopefully, if they've come back true, are the ones with those centres. Nick from Nick's NIC allotment sent me those, and they're establishing themselves there, but not so well along here. But I suppose my big feet and everything else doesn't help. One job I didn't manage to get done was getting this piece of perspex into that corner up there to stop the rain. Luckily enough, it's been in the correct direction so it doesn't get wet. And during this month, across the top of the cards normally some of the main videos that I've done through January. And if you want to catch up with what I've done in January, go to my playlist under January 2021. So this is cleaned out now. We haven't cleaned the glass with the snow and cold and everything else. Sweet peas are doing absolutely fine. Now we've taken them out of the grow room so they don't get too leggy. But the blackbirds haven't been in here, and again it's becoming a bit of a storeroom. This will all change once the polytunnel's done. The wildflower wildlife area is looking nice. I've got these to cut down now they've died back. I like to leave them as long as possible, and this mulching of the compost that we find that the compost growers unscrupulously throw away, ideal for mulching. The siphoning system done even better than I ever thought. All the barrels are full and all nice and even. Nothing much changed here. We'll talk about what we need to do with all this in the jobs for February. So I managed to move all the timbers from round the corner, ready to put here to help with the cabbage, the giant cabbage bed. And this is the area that I moved the wood from, so it's had a nice layer of wood chips now. At least I can start walking around the allotment again. During this month I've picked up a few more straps, few chunks of wood. Obviously now I've got the fire, these will either be for weighing the cardboard down, or I'll be chopping up to keep that fire going. And this is the compost, all the compost that I found in January. It's quite a bit there, I'm not going to guess this time. And we've got a nice little bit of cocoa coir. I don't like to get it too wet, because when it gets wet it gets a bit hard to manage, like this compost with the perlite in. I've got a bit of a mixture this month, but that will be added to this month's. There's a few sacks there as well. All the fruit cage has been tidied up, weeded, and after a comment from one of my viewers, I've used some of the ferns and that to mulch the blueberries. I normally pay about £8 or £9 for a bag of compost, which does last me a year, but that's £8 or £9 I can spend on something else. And all I've got to do now is use those green straps that we've just seen along here to see if we can hold all these fruit bushes up. And all the snow that we've had hasn't affected the net on the fruit cage. The net is actually fish pond netting, very strong in a fashion, as long as you don't rag it too much. And I've never had any issues with the snow, but this looks a lot better than it did at the end of December, so one of the successful jobs of this month. This is all the water piping that I had with the allotment. I did speak about it before. I paid £300 for the polytunnel, which was covered at the time, and all those sheds and lots of other knickknacks. So I've moved those to here, because we do need to do this structure. And remember guys, if you ever got garden canes or anything, always remember to put the bottle tops over the top, because you've only got your eyes once. So if we have a little quick look at the asparagus now, that's the snow's had its day on that now, so I think I can safely trim these up. We've still got Swedes. The mustard green manure hasn't done overly well. Maybe I should have sowed that a little bit earlier, but I've managed to tie up all the broad beans, and they're looking okay. We shouldn't have any problem with black fly at this time of the year. And again, the green manure, the mustard, must plant it earlier next year. And these are the field beans, and I will be taking a few of these tops just before I hack them down for a meal, and the rest will feed this bean bed. We did a review on these potato sacks. Those are the Jerusalem artichokes. Those Jerusalem artichokes have got to be, well, those three have got to be harvested during February before they start growing. 3 scaffold planks high on this one, and we're still waiting for the claret sprouting broccoli to start showing. These are the broad beans that Marie Curry sent me, and you can see there the crimson flowers. A little bit early, I might have to do a bit of self-pollinating. And these are the spare surplus giant cabbages. I'm going to get those planted. Nothing's going to go to waste, and I'm just waiting for the last few Brussels to form there, and those over there are begging to be eaten, but how long will they last? Mrs. K did find out that I'd got Brussels left, so I've had to collect them. And this kale is doing marvellously well. I harvest a bit off each one. This is dwarf. It's only about 3 foot high now, but some of the kale, not over focused there, is just full of green fly. So I think this one will end up been pulled out to protect the one that does look quite lush. You might not be able to see, but the snow's just completely destroyed this netting. It's you can't see, you may be able to, but it's just tore great big holes in it. Not very strong, but it did a little job. It'll still do a job. It'll stop the pigeons from landing and having a meal. I'll have a quick look, see if we've got any florets on the claret sprouting broccoli, and there's nothing there at the moment. I'll keep removing the dead leaves off the bottom, and I'm definitely going to try and try the leaves. People do say try them. Hopefully get a bountiful crop. The polytunnel has come to an abrupt halt with the frozen ground and the snow. By the time you see this video, this is being filmed on the Friday before the Saturday that we're expecting more snow. And my video on the pallet collar coal frames was videoed before we had the snow last weekend. But it's looking okay. I'm happy with how things are working out. It's just a case of putting in the time, but I've got quite a few jobs to do in February, so I can mix and match, do a bit, leave a bit, and go and do something else. You don't get bored then. The elephant garlic that Mike Hurdis sent me a few years ago has all now reached the surface. I did plant them deep. The Griselle shallots, it's a French variety, which I haven't spelt variety properly, but that doesn't matter, I know what it means. They're all shooting now, hopefully. I've got a few of those, so it's just a case of saving them. These are the banana shallot, long red Florence. Got those planted to go to seed. Then there's nothing else in these beds. These beds here, there, and when the carrots are finished, and any other beds that are a little bit low, will be taking the soil from out of the square foot gardening and then replacing it. The walking onions that I had from Alan, they're looking a little bit dreary, but we have had some poor weather here, but no doubt all the nice fresh shoots will come from the bottom and they'll be fine. The Orprea that Jason from Jason's Jungle sent me, brood balls, marvellous. I'm hoping that the allium leaf miner doesn't get to them, but there's nothing to stop me taking some of these smaller ones as spring onions, etc. And then we've got some of the red Russian garlic that William Coleman Garden and Allotment sent me. I've planted the bigger ones. I haven't eaten any. And then these are the banana shallots of Brune that I've put in for seed. I might have done that too early, but I believe they're still still firm, which they are, so they've got a good root system on, and hopefully they'll go to seed and provide me with enough seed to go forward. I've still got red cabbages, onions, sorry for whizzing you around. We've got some the shallots, 2 lots there, some other onions, some more there that are going to seed. We don't eat a lot, so I've got to limit what I actually grow. I only grow as much as you eat, if you can afford to let other people have them. Yeah, we've got plenty of onions to take us through. I've bought some compost. Oh yes, I've bought some. I need to get this sieved because I do need to plant my long roots for the show. Not as if there's going to be a show this year. I think everything this year is going to be put on hold again. But I'm going to sieve that and the bigger bits can go in the beds. The upside down bulb challenge, the elephant garlic, there's no show on that. But those 2 are coming up now. Jacko's allotment, he did it in a glass bottle, plastic bottle, and you can actually see how the roots and the stem righted the cells, so why not pop over and see Jacko's allotment, or if you tick the hashtag, it'll take you to all the videos. This is my vertical garden and the square foot gardening. I think there is some chard under there that I left in. This is the New Zealand spinach we left out. It doesn't look too bad considering the weather we've had, but I use these buckets and then they sit on what should be there, and those two screws stopped it from bowing out, and I'm looking forward to getting those up and running. I'll set all those off in the greenhouse grow room and then bring them to the allotment. This is where some of the potatoes that I grow will be coming as well. If you're still with me, please hit the like or dislike button. I'd really appreciate that. And I'm now over 1.5 million views as of when this video goes up on my settings. When you look on the other profile, it just shows it below, but I'm well over 1.5 million views, so thank you to everyone. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.